counselors here at Shahala Middle School, and today we have a super awesome guest.
I'm Abby Trofer.
Abby Trofer is here today because she is a senior at Central Washington University, and she's going to tell us how the College Bound Scholarship impacted her and her college career. Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you went to middle school and high school, and what you're doing now?
Okay, so I went to Pacific, and then I went to Union for a year, and then I opened up Gila and was the first graduating class from Gila.
Very exciting.
And then I went to Central and getting ready to graduate this spring.
Awesome. And do you know what you want to do after you graduate?
Yeah, so I studied law and justice with a minor in family science, so I'm working with kids who are in juvie, and then I think I want to go towards being a school counselor after it.
That's a total surprise. I had no idea. So very cool. That's so awesome. So do you remember way back when you were 6th, 7th, or 8th grader, do you remember hearing about the College Bound Scholarship at all?
Yes, I remember hearing about it, and then I think we had an assembly or something along those lines of like what it was and how you could impact from it.
So if you can remember back that far, what did you think it was based off of that information at that assembly, or what you remember about hearing about the College Bound Scholarship?
I remember that it could benefit you if you decided to go to college, but when you're younger, you don't really know everything yet, and so I was like, I have no idea what this means. This probably doesn't have anything to do with me.
Okay, that is absolutely true, and this is one thing that we talk about a lot when we're talking to students about the College Bound Scholarship. You're in middle school. Some of you, when we talk to you, you're in 7th grade, you're 13, 14 years old, and 5 and 6 years to when you're graduating high school seems so far away, which is why we brought in Abby, who is in that time in her life. She's now almost graduating college, which I'm sure it feels like it flew by.
It did.
Flew by, and we brought her in to show you how it does matter and it will happen so fast and why this is so important. So, did you wonder how it would benefit you?
I mean, yeah, I completely wondered like how it would work and what it even meant. Like I had no idea what I wanted to be when I grow up, and I didn't know anything about it. So,
do you remember how you signed up?
I think one of the counselors contacted me saying that there was a paper that I needed to fill out with my family.
Okay. And did they like annoy you over and over and over again?
Yes.
Until you brought it back?
Yes.
Okay, and then once you brought it back, did they stop annoying you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Once you brought that paper back, the counselor stopped annoying you. Do you remember having to do anything to keep that scholarship?
I had to have good grades, I think above a 2.0, and I couldn't be a felon or anything.
Did you have to have good grades in middle school or in high school?
I think high school.
Okay. So in order to keep the scholarship, you just need a 2.0 or higher in high school. Once you get to your high school years, obviously doing better in middle school is going to help you do better as you get to high school. And you cannot be a felon. You've got to be making good choices in your high school years. And did you really think about it much in your 7th and 8th grade year once you signed up?
No.
No.
Once it was done, it was done.
Okay. So in high school, so now you're into 9th grade year, your first year at Union. Did the counselors or anybody reach out to you about that scholarship?
Nope.
Okay. So it was just something that you kind of knew was on the back burner. When did you actually start thinking about that scholarship and that you had this pot of money kind of waiting in the wings for you?
I think junior year, because that's when I started looking at colleges and exploring more options and realized that when I got to college and was at orientation, they brought it up.
Okay. So that was in your junior year.
Yeah.
When you were applying. And so when you applied for schools, did you always know you wanted to go to a 4-year college?
Yeah, once I started going to school, like I knew that, okay, maybe I want to do this for a long time.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to do something cool, so I was like, okay, university, here I come.
Awesome. So Abby decided to go to a 4-year state school, Central Washington University. I will add that with the College Bound Scholarship, you can also go to community college or a trade school in the state of Washington, and some surrounding Oregon schools that are how we have reciprocity with, because it is a Washington State scholarship. So all Washington State schools, community colleges, and trade schools. But Abby chose the path of a four-year university, which does not have to be everybody's path. When did you start thinking about your post-high school plans?
I'd say sophomore, junior year is when I really had to buckle down and start thinking about what I wanted to do, and it changed.
Yeah?
So.
Yeah. And did the College Bound Scholarship factor into any of those decisions?
Yes, so I actually got accepted to Concordia in Portland, got my financial aid, proposal letter back, and it was nothing. I didn't get anything really because it was out of state and it was a private school.
Yeah. Concordia is a wonderful school, and but it is a private school and it is outside of the state of Washington. And so like Abby said, she got her financial aid award letter, meaning once you apply for financial aid, you are going to get an award letter that shows all the different areas that you would receive help from the government. And also the state of Washington or wherever you might reside. And so when she got that award letter, she didn't qualify for a lot of other free aid, free money from the government, or even money that she probably could have paid back with loans. And so sounds like it clearly made it a huge determining factor of which school she chose to go to. Have you had to pay for any of your 4 years at Central out of pocket?
Yes, my freshman year I had to pay a little bit.
You did have to pay a little bit?
Yes, that was
Okay.
because of the dorms and the meal plan and
Okay,
stuff. But
the College Bound Scholarship covers your tuition, okay? The tuition. Room and board are separate from tuition. And so a lot of people think that it's a free ride to college, they get everything paid for, but it does cover tuition and things like books, but it doesn't always cover room and board. Now, other scholarships, and I know Abby received some other scholarships and grants, could cover those expenses for you. So it could still be very minimal, if any, money out of pocket for you to go to college, trade school, or community college. So can you tell us a little bit just briefly about your other scholarships that you had that helped cover your costs?
I got a scholarship from Central.
Okay.
And then I got, I think,
Academic or just
academic.
Okay,
and
awesome.
then I got two other grants, and then I qualified for work study too. So I had a lot of options to help me out.
Awesome. Was there a process that you had to go through to utilize the scholarship, or did it just kind of show up on your financial aid award?
It showed up. So after I think high school, I don't remember exactly how all shook out, and then when I received my financial aid, my last one from Central, it was on there.
Awesome. Okay. So again, because she filled out that form, parents signed it, she brought it back to those annoying counselors that wouldn't leave her alone. It just showed up on her financial aid award when she applied to Washington State schools. As you heard us say before, when she applied to Concordia, which is in Oregon, it didn't show up there because it was an out-of-state school. So it did show up on her financial aid award letter when she went to Central. So huge determining factor for where she went to school. How do you feel you benefited from having the College Bound Scholarship? Or do you feel you benefited?
I do feel like I benefited from it. I didn't really know if I was going to go to college in middle school, like we talked about. And so then once I got older, I felt like, okay, I did something to help me out.
Awesome. What would you want your 7th or 8th grade self to know about the scholarship opportunity that you didn't know or think about back then? So go back to when you were a 7th and 8th grader and those counselors were annoying you. What would you want the 7th and 8th graders now to know?
Your counselors annoyed you for a reason. They're trying to help you out.
I love it. I love it. When you hear from me or from Mr. Lang or Mr. Grenier and we are hounding you for these forms, I call it, and I'm not going to say what they call it, but I call it like a golden ticket. It's money in your hand. This piece of paper, not this piece of paper, but the piece of paper we hand you is money in your hand. And even if you don't understand it, you don't know why you're doing it, do it, bring it back, sign it, have your parents sign it, because it is that little secret, it's not even a secret, but you have in your back pocket for when you decide you want to go to college, trade school, community college, and I guarantee you don't want to miss that boat. Thank you so much, Abby, for being here, and As always, if you have any questions about the College Bound Scholarship, please come and see your counselor in the Counseling Center. College Bound Scholarship! Bring your form back signed.